Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In tonight's Democratic Special Order, we will be highlighting the severe and immoral cuts made to anti-hunger and nutrition programs in the House Republican budget. Right now, millions of American families and children are suffering from food insecurity. As the map here clearly shows, food hardship is a national tragedy. It is present in each and every congressional district. The districts that are highlighted in pink and in red have the most food hardships, while the districts in yellow are not far behind. Districts highlighted in blue have the lowest food hardship, but the national average is that nearly 1 in 5 Americans struggles with food hardship. Simply put, they are at risk of going hungry. According to a study done by the Center for Budget Policy and Priorities, the Republican budget, composed by Chairman Paul Ryan and endorsed by presidential candidate Mitt Romney, would, and I quote, impose extraordinary cuts in programs that serve as a lifeline for our nation's poorest and our most vulnerable citizens. Not the least of these are America's critical anti-hunger initiatives, like food stamps and the Women, Infants, and Children, or WIC program, all of which the Ryan Republican budget threatens to slash by as much as 19%. That means, for example, that over 8 million men, women, and children could be cut from food stamps, and 2.5 million pregnant and postpartum women, infants, and children may be slashed from the WIC program. The Ryan budget slashes these anti-hunger initiatives while preserving subsidies for big oil, tax breaks for the wealthiest Americans. It is a reverse Robin Hood budget that, in the words of Robert Greenstein, the head of the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities, would, and I quote, likely produce the largest redistribution of income from the bottom to the top in modern U.S. history, and likely increase poverty and inequality more than any other budget in recent times, and possibly in the nation's history. As many religious and ethical observers have noted this week, the decisions made in this budget are antithetical to our basic moral values. Last Friday, 60 Catholic leaders and theologians wrote a letter to Chairman Ryan arguing that his budget was, quote, morally indefensible and betrays Catholic principles of solidarity, just taxation, and a commitment to the common good. A budget that turns its back on the hungry, the elderly, and the sick, while giving more tax breaks to the wealthiest few, can't be justified in Christian terms, end quote. This Ryan Republican budget is particularly cruel when you consider the scale of need in the current economy. When 13 million are unemployed, 1 in 6 are living below the official poverty line. As another group of Christian leaders, the Circle of Protection, has urged, Congress should, and I quote, give moral priority to programs that protect the life and the dignity of poor and vulnerable people in these difficult times. Our anti-hunger initiatives, like food stamps and WIC, are just such programs. Tonight, I'm proud to be joined by my colleagues. We will discuss the profound impact of the Ryan-Romney Republican budget will have on these programs. And with that, I am so pleased to ask my colleague from California, Mr. Farr, who is the ranking member of the Agricultural Appropriations Subcommittee, to continue our dialogue for this evening.